Hey, Kitaholic Kits fans and my Scrap and Ames fans, if you're a subscriber of mine as well. I am doing not so much a bonus vid as such. Well, it is a bonus video because normally I would only have a post for today's, but I decided to make this one a video for my last post for December. And I guess the last one for 2018. And I think this one will go up, it will be New Year's Eve, I guess. Hannah. Sorry, that's my little one. So I'm using one of our exclusive cut files, the lovely interlaced heart one, and I'm using obviously our December kits, which is full of the whimsical kit or collection. Sorry, I'm not sure this one actually. I think this might be pretty certain. I'll pull my drawer out if I can. It's chockers and I can't get it open. I think this pink one, I don't actually think this is a whimsical. I think this is, hang on, I've got it here. It is the Dear Lizzie New Day pattern paper. It was the sort of, what is it, dark horse? No? Oh, I can't remember what you call the word. Little bonus extra that was in there that was the difference in the pattern papers in the kit. Anyway, so I'm just showing you a little bit on how I back the cut file. I can't say I do it perfectly. I always do my cut files, I think, awkwardly, but I'm not sure if there's ever a perfect way of backing a cut file. But what I've done with this one, which was really easy because I have the outline on it, is get my pencil and just draw on the outside of the shape. So then I can just basically get my scissors and cut around it pretty much. And what I'm going to do is I'm using some different pattern papers. Now from memory, I think I try and go with a bit of a pattern with the pattern papers, in that I go light, dark, I think, type pattern, I think, from memory. Was really cautious with this cut file. It is really flimsy, like it feels really thin. I was so terrified I was going to rip it, but I didn't. But I was so worried that I would be, it took me ages to back this cut file, just because I wanted it to line up perfectly. It was different sizes, and just drawing it out, making sure it fitted right. Making sure that I had to really concentrate anyway. Backing cut files is still a relatively new process to me, and making sure I didn't sort of stuff up where they interlace with each other. I didn't want to have the wrong piece, like the wrong, if you know what I mean, like I didn't want to have the wrong pattern paper in there, if that makes sense, sort of. Anyway, so while you're watching that, I don't make you watch you do the whole thing. I just wanted to show you the process of the first line, just for those that are, might be using this cut file, or like me, are a bit of a newbie to cut files. It's really good and handy to watch how someone backs a cut file, because sometimes you can just be like, this is all too hard, and not do it. But yes, the photo I am scrapping is a photo from Christmas last year or the year before. I'm not sure actually. And I always get one when we do the Christmas tree with our kids, of them in front of it. Judging from the ages, I think it's from last year, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. I'm sure there'll be a date. So yes, I'm trying to go back in time with my photos and get caught up. So you might see some videos over on my channel. There you go. There's my finished product, and I've only used 3 pattern papers from the kit. Trying to go back in time with my photo box and just get caught up, basically. Clear it out. And I need to really scrap 2018 as we're heading into 2019, because I'm only like a few months into it. I mean, I've scrapped bits and pieces here, there and everywhere, like as you do, to fit in with collections and projects you might be working on and stuff. Excuse me. But yeah, for the bulk part, I really haven't done 2018 very much. So yeah, I really just want to get caught up. So that's what this photo is, a catch up. But yeah, so I'm using a non-Christmas themed kit. I'm kind of going with that at the moment, I've discovered. And just going with it. Now, Steph, this is our December kit. As you can see, there is elements of the Christmas colours throughout the kit, but it's not Christmas themed, which is fantastic because, and I've said this before, you get a lot of kits in December that are just Christmas themed, and I like that it's not, because it means that you can do your normal scrapping, and whilst she pops elements of the holiday season in there, it's not Christmas themed. And I mean, yeah, that to me is great because I'm catching up, and if you're using your holiday time to catch up, which I only have a week and a bit off from work, so I want to try and get things done, I can do that. And I've got a heap of Christmas stash left from last year where I got December daily kits and things like that, and you can get December daily kits, so it's everywhere, so it's fantastic. I love it. That's just me. So I decided that I wanted to add something extra to this cut file, that the pattern papers were, whilst nice and bright and bold, they needed something else. So I decided to add some acetate, is it acetate, over the top. And what I've done is just used a Photo Fuse tool sleeves, that's what they are, and I've just cut them down. And what I did was cut them. It was a mess. I really stuffed it a bit. I got better at it when I did the 3. And I just cut them down into squares and put some of the big sequins in, which was probably a bit tricky in the first one. I put too many in, so it was only a little bit as I went on, and you would have seen, or will see. As you can see, the last 2 there only have a couple of sequins because the sequins are really big. But I added that over the top, and then just used some glossy accents to adhere it down, because it's really super strong adhesive, so it really holds it down. Problem with that is once it's on there, that's it. You are not moving that sucker. So make sure you've cut it right, because that was part of my issue too. As I said, the first one was quite a bit of a mess, but embellishments will fix that right up. But yes, so I just thought it needed something a little bit more extra over the pattern paper, just to draw your eye a little bit to it, make it a bit more interesting. So that's, yeah, I just wanted to be a bit fancy with it. Sorry if you can hear some noise in the background. I've got my little one home with me. My boys are out having some boy time, and we're having some girl time at home, just chilling, catching up on some voiceovers and some crafting, and she's playing, and yeah, so there's going to be some voiceovers today that might have her in the background. So I decided that I would bump this up with some craft foam, and it needed like a whole new sheet of its own, this cut file. Whoops. Could have swore I edited all this out for you, but I guess I didn't. And the colours I picked, I went with, there's lots of colours obviously on the Christmas tree. There's purples, there's blues, and there's pinks, and there's black stripes and things like that in the kids' picture. Again, that's just, as I said, I've said a million times, that's just how I pick colours for my layouts. It's not your traditional Christmas theme, and I am cool with that. I wanted to be a little different with Christmas layouts. I nearly actually went another layer of dimension with my photo here and nearly added another bit of craft foam. I don't know if I kept that in, but went, nah, it would be too bulky is what stopped me in my folder. And my layers, my albums get fairly bulky. Yeah. Oh, no, this is 2016. I can see the date. So this would be probably close to the last layout. And I'm already on to squeezing this into my 2016 album. I'm just looking up at my shelves next to me. I'm actually sitting doing this voiceover for the first time in ages, actually sitting in my craft area space. So usually I do them in my room. So went with the black and white stripe just to give a bit of border to that, because the 2 kids, big kids outfits have that in it. I thought too much colour as a layering there behind the photo would lose the photo a bit. I think I added, do I add this layer? Yeah. It's just a softening colour in behind. Oh no, maybe I don't. I was really debating the whole layering thing here. I just couldn't decide what I wanted to do. It was a tricky layout to do because it was a little bit difficult to decide, being a Christmas themed photo, what to add to the background. It's your mind's going from that non-conventional or your conventional sort of colours to your not wanting it to be in your Christmas colours. That's right. I picked the darker colour to ground it away from the all the patterns in the background of the cut file.
Oh, you're too excited. You need to have a little rest. I told you. Go to sleep. In your plan.
If you can hear Hannah in the background, she's talking to her Hatchimal baby.
Sorry.
See, here I go to layer it, and literally the only thing that stopped me was that it would be too bulky. I thought it would be kind of cool to add a second layer of dimension, but I just thought it's just going to be way too big in my album.
Small cap here.
So,
Small cap here.
okay. Alright, so done. Finally, photo is on the layout, at least. It seems to have taken a while. This layout did take me a little bit, again with the cut file and whatnot, and just fiddling around with the sequins and just being generally indecisive. So we got some of this red and white twine in our kit. So again, little pops of Christmas. So this is me adding my little pops of Christmas to the layout. And I decided that I wanted to add this on the bottom just as some texture, something a little bit more different. So I used some gold staples to get this to adhere in place. It kind of annoyed me a little bit because as much as I measured it extra, like a bit longer, it still managed to be too slightly, not short, but I stapled it too tight and it sort of kept bowing the paper a little bit. It was it's a first world problem, really. It was annoying me. Then I'm just adding some of these Kaiser wood veneer and then some printables here, which have got some cute little sayings on there. I think that one says family traditions. Now this one I liked adding here. It just sort of kind of hangs off the edge of this heart here. So it just adds a bit of a shadow. So it adds that effect, like that 3D effect. Again, it's just another little bit of interest. You've got that cut file there that's so big and it's got the pattern paper. You don't necessarily, I didn't know whether or not I needed to do a lot of embellishing, and I don't think I do generally. So when I embellished, I wanted to make sure it wasn't over the top, but it was a bit interesting, I guess. Hence the twine at the bottom. I added that, as I said, that printable, the exclusive die cut at the top there, and it just sort of hangs there like, and it just adds that shadow. I've added this, I think it says the best time of year, favourite time of year or something like that. and I've just putting it on some craft foam, and I'm going to put it over the top of these staples, I think, or close to it, and I've added it to the craft foam just because the staples and the twine lifted it up a little bit, made it pop up a little bit, so the craft foam just balanced it a bit more. And as you can see, again, it's not your conventional Christmas layout. It's got lots of florals, it's, you know, but it looks lovely, and that's okay. Like, it still tells the story of the picture, and that is the main thing, which is that beginning of December, the kids were back. We did our Christmas tree, and we got our usual photo. That's all it is. How I document that with, you know, the craft materials I have, it doesn't matter. It looks beautiful. It's going in our album, and it tells the story. Simple as that. Oh, little things were starting to, I think I was getting tired, and I was like, little things were starting to bug me. I wanted that to sit there, and the twine was getting in the way, and I was like, ah. So I just worked on little pieces, like little clusters, I guess you would call them, because again, I didn't need a lot. And I think you'll find if you use this cut file, and I think maybe it depends on what you use as your background paper. I've used a pattern paper, so it's busy. Whereas maybe if you used white cardstock, you could do mixed media, or if you just use, plain white cardstock, you might be able to embellish in and around the hearts. Again, completely your style, obviously. No, or maybe I do. I think I thought I added these leaves. Or maybe I do. There we go. Oh, shush phone. Sorry. All of a sudden everyone wants to comment on Facebook. Just adding some, I'm really struggling. That was the one thing with this kit. I don't know about anyone else, is the leaves and leaves in general. I'm finding it difficult to make clusters of leaves. I can't seem, like here, to me, I think they look odd. I don't know if I'm doing it right, or I'm not sure if there's a right way, I get that. But if they look right, it's probably the best. I'm trying to use them because they're there and I don't want to hoard them. I certainly don't want to hoard these because they look pretty, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I make them look pretty when I do them. But I'm just giving it a go. So anyway, let me know how you find them, especially if you've got these kits, which you probably do because you're watching this, how you finding your leaves if you're using them. Share your work over in the group. I see some of the regulars sharing their work in the group, but some of our newbies, I'd love to see what you're creating with the kits. We definitely love to see what everyone uses and get some inspiration happening. And if you're crafting, if you've got some time off over these holiday period, give us a gaze at what you're doing. It's always lovely to see what our subscribers with our kits are doing. It's certainly nice. Certainly nice, I'm sure, for Steph, who does all the hard work behind the scenes, getting all the kits together, see what everyone's making beautifully with their kits. See, more leaves. I'm busting to use these leaves. All right, just adding some more. Yeah, and then you go nuts like I do with trying to use up stuff. So playing around with these. I love these in the kit. I love these sort of ready-made floral clusters I liked in the Whimsical kits. I thought they were perfect.
And I thought your water was amazing.
Thanks, darling.
Man, holidays today.
Alright, just adding, I think I'm just, what am I adding here? All these little clouds. So just adding some finishing touches. I think I'm nearly done. I'm certain I'm nearly done. As I said, it was a big layout. This has gone for a while, and I didn't want to cut too much out because, you know, I think to some degree you need to see the process and, you know, the thinking tank, I guess. But I think these I really wanted to use. Every time I had a layout, I had these out on my desk to use, but I could not find a way to, even cutting them, was going to use them, and I could not figure out a way to use these snow and cocoa wreaths, however you say it. But I did use it for this one, and I thought it was beautiful. I wasn't sure at first because it sort of seemed to cut the heart shape there out, but then I thought, well, does it really matter? There's like 50 other hearts on there. And I love these puffy stars, which many kits ago, I think earlier in the year, I think it was May maybe, or June, maybe somewhere around there, I think, excuse me, sorry, we got the puffy heart, the Pink Fresh Studio, the exact same sort of ones, but in the hearts. I'm still holding them, and I'm pretty certain I went to do an order. I don't know what happened. I thought I did it actually, but I went to do an order a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure why I didn't actually finish it off. And I think I went to order more of them. I could be wrong. Either the stars or the hearts. I'm not sure. But yes, I'll probably hoard these as well. I will probably still find them in my stash. I'm a bit naughty like that. As well as these foam letters. Yes. I love these too. These are very lovely. I think I went to order more of these as well as the Heidi Swap ones. I really don't know what happened to that order. I do a lot of the online, what I call online window shopping, and I put things into a cart to come back to. But I was certain, and I literally was that certain that I've been waiting for the order. And because we've had so much online ordering for Christmas, I was like, what did I do with my order? And because it hasn't arrived, I was like, I'm guessing I didn't order one from the shop. So, yeah. Anyway, my bad. But yes, so there's my title, a big long title. But I am done. So thank you so much for sitting through this whole process. It's been a long one and my rambling. But have a happy new year, guys, and see you in 2019. Bye.